away game of the season, and a venue that was not kind at all to United last spring. Shaw, Lingard, Rashford, Martial! Half-century of goals for Manchester United, for Anthony Martial, and that's amongst the best of them. Coutinho drilled it towards the edge of the box. The shot is fantastic. Unbelievable from Neves. Tried to wait a long time, Pogba. Pogba! It's a fabulous save from Rui Patricio. Nothing wrong with a draw at Wolves, but the feeling that it could have been better. Wolves won, Manchester United won.
Statman Dave back for another episode of Box to Box. Danny Webber is here with me to look back on the main talking points from the 1-1 draw against Wolves. After 2 defeats in 3 weeks at Molineux last season, United dominated the game and were unfortunate not to pick up all 3 points, right, Danny?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think first half started really well, dominated the first half. There was a little section in the second half that Wolves came out of the blocks and dominated, but we got back in control of the game, unfortunate not to win in the end.
First up, let's take a look at the formation that United started the game so well with. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men dominated the first half in a 4-2-3-1. Wolves set themselves up, Danny, in a 3-5-2. What did United need to do to unlock that back three?
I think the key to breaking down a 3-5-2 is getting in these areas. You need Rashford in these areas, Dan James in these areas, come down the outside and trying to get wide really and get around this, because the 3 central defenders are always solid. It's not always easy to break through them. Has to be absolutely perfect if you're going to do that.
I think another big thing with Wolves, their narrow defensive shape is really, really good. It's also the importance of Jesse Lingard operating in these little tight areas or trying to pick up this sort of area. Is there anything that you think we could do in terms of breaking down the wing-backs?
I think important that you bring your full-backs into play. You know, if you've got your full-backs coming forward, it occupies both of their wing-backs. It can do if you get them far enough in advance, and I think you see that in the goal that we scored quite clearly at some point.
A slight sort of drawing the full-back in, using the spacing behind, but as you mentioned, the importance of Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial as almost a pair. And that's something that we're going to take a look at right now. So it was Anthony Martial with his new number 9 shirt who opened the scoring with a real striker's finish. Before we take a look at the goal, let's see that Rashford-Martial link-up play which worked so effectively against Chelsea last week. But pace should play from United out of the back, Danny.
Yeah, really important to note, you know, when Wolves have been sitting off, there's the odd opportunity in the first half where they actually came out of their positions. And at this point, it's about how quickly you can get up the pitch. Pogba here highlighted, notices on the turn that he needs options. He's looking, and Rashford gives him the first option, running in behind, and you've cut out 5-6 players, gained 60 or 70 yards, and then you're in the business end of the pitch where you've got to do your magic as a striker.
Really good play from Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
Unfortunate not to add to his assist tally there, but it was all about that drawing Wolves in and allowing United to spring that pass forward and break in behind. The interesting side here, Danny, we mentioned before, drawing Wolves out. So Wolves are a very compact team, they defend well, but United have coaxed them out. Got the 2 centre forwards in these positions, got the midfield 3 that high up the pitch. There's a bit of space for the 2 centre forwards. But talk to me about those 2 centre forwards here, Danny, or the 2 attackers, should we say?
Well, I think it's important to note, again, as much as one of them might peel out wide, they are very much playing like a partnership, like a centre-forward partnership. So let's highlight Anthony Martial, and then you've got Marcus Rashford the same there. Body shapes. Martial, he's offering Pogba on the ball, something into feet, and then you've got Marcus Rashford, who's offering something in behind. Key to note, Conor Cody, he got really tight to Martial because he knows if he comes to feet, he's got to get around him and try and nick the ball. You've got Bennett on the other hand, who looks at Rashford's shape and knows he's not going to beat him in a foot race. So he's 4 or 5 yards off him, waiting for him to run in behind basically and come to life. You as a striker decide where you want the ball, not by shouting and asking for it because you don't have time, but by your body shape and the movement of your body and the intention of which you do it, as you see here from Marcus Rashford.
And again, the speed, how electric this is from Rashford. He's communicated with his body that he wants the ball maybe played over the top, played into the channels, and now we're looking at that situation that he comes into life right now. Bang, he's off.
That's it, he comes to life, Pogba makes the pass. Pretty similar to Chelsea game. On his goal he scored against Chelsea was quite similar. He came to life, Pogba picked out the pass. At this point, we touched on it before, it's about doing your little bit of magic. You've got Anthony Martial, edge of the box. This is where you want, I know Ollie's been working with the strikers, it's where you're going to score your goals. It's where he got his goal on Sunday against Chelsea, and it's similarly, where you're going to get an extra 5-6 goals a season.
So if we focus on Anthony Martial now, on his movement, we're going to slow it right down, Danny.
Yeah. He goes near post and then goes far. And if you watch Conor Cody's body, initially, he goes for it. He has to come back out, and then he goes back in again. He's almost done 2 or 3 movements there just to give himself that little bit of space. Unfortunate not to get on the end of it. Really
good move from Anthony Martial. In terms of if Danny Webber was in that position, would you go with your head?
Danny Webber would definitely not go with his head. No, I'd go with my foot as well. I'd probably, as he did, just have you'd try and have that little bit more belief. And I think he was disappointed at the end because a man of his quality would normally put that in the back of the net.
Now let's take a look at the goal. More patient play from Manchester United out of the back, Danny.
Yeah, again, Wan-Bissaka wins the ball back, very strong as he normally is. And then it's just about probing. United spent a lot of time in the first half probing. Again, key to it here, if you look at the two front players. We mentioned it before. You've got Rashford looking to come to feet, Martial threatening him behind. That enables United to try and get on the ball in these sort of areas if they can.
I think it's really good drifting from Lingard from that number 10 area as well, popping up to that left-hand side, being a little option for this triangle that United created with Shaw, with McTominay. And as the move develops, it's that importance of the 2 centre-forwards, Danny.
Yeah, definitely. They offered himself to feet, Rashford, it didn't come. Martial's body shape continues to look forward. At this point, it does come, and then it's all about quality, timing of pass, timing of the movement, and then again, having the nous to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. This is an interesting angle to see it from.
The part that really jumps out here is this little triangle that United play that almost coaxes in Wolves' right wing back out of position. Creating that sort of situation where United can play inside right there.
Yeah, and that's it. We talked about Doherty is coming out of his position, but the key to this, and it's not very easy because they're playing 3 solid central defenders and holding midfielder. The key to this is moving the ball quickly, not having too many touches. And you see this little passage of play. There's, everybody's on 1, 2, or 3 touch. Look, 2 touch, 3 touch from Jesse, 2 touch from Marcus, and then it's a 1 touch finish. You only get chance when there's that many defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders in the box. You only get a snap to get your shot away. And it shows the quality of United's movement and United's finish because Wolves were set and Wolves had enough people around to defend it, so it has to be inch perfect, and it was.
A lot of interesting concepts there, stretching the back 3, maybe pulling that wing back out, playing in those tight areas. A really good team goal from Manchester United.
Yeah, these are things that are happening all the time. We're highlighting a micro moment at the moment. These are things that are happening all the time through the game, but when it all comes together like that, it looks like poetry in motion.
Let's take a look at what the boss had to say about that goal.
Very good finish, and he can finish both right and left foot. Good run down the sides, good pass. So all over, that was a very, very good goal. Clinical, which we know we have to be because at this level, you've got to take your chances.
Really good finish with Anthony Martial's left foot, his 50th goal for Manchester United. Only 2 Frenchmen have ever got to that total. Danny, who was the other one?
Gotta say the king. There's only one.
Eric Cantona.
Eric Cantona.
Let's move on to Paul Pogba now. We mentioned him in midfield already. In defensive midfield, quite a mature performance, holding the ball, moving it around, being patient. We've got to take a look at the incident that won the penalty, though. Really, really good central midfield play for a player that has, insane amounts of talent. For Manchester United in this position, Wolves are set, though, Danny.
Yeah, and Wolves are set. You look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players and 9 coming in to try and defend United's attack. At this point, if you're a Wolves player, you're thinking, we're set, there's not much space in between us. It's going to take something absolutely out of this world to break that down.
Lucky United have a player of that calibre. Pogba's going to pick the ball up in a second with pressure at his back, the strength that he puts in here, Danny, and then the explosion.
Yeah, he uses his body well, and then it's the explosion, lovely bit of interchange with Anthony Martial, then that little bit of magic committed for the penalty. But if you just see it here, there's probably 4 moments of quality in this that changed the game within 2 or 3 seconds. Initially, here, uses his body well, pushes away, and then he drives. He commits 5 players. The 1-2, lovely little flick round the corner. Great touch is the third bit of quality. The fourth bit of quality is that little bit of magic. That's your individual brilliance, what you're seeing in the moment, not coached. And then Connor Cody can do nothing but bring him down for the penalty.
We've got to take that Pogba has taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players out with a little bit of combination play with Anthony Martial. Really good hold-up play, but what a move from Manchester United. Yeah,
brilliant move, and ultimately led to the penalty. It just shows when you've got that level of quality, you can open teams up. It doesn't matter how deep they sit.
So let's take a look at the penalty. Unfortunate for Manchester United. It didn't give them that goal to win the game, Danny.
No, it didn't. You know, you can see Pogba disappointed that he didn't put it away. You know, 9 times out of 10, you'd back him to put it in the back of the net. On this occasion, it didn't go our way, but I'm sure we'll get the next one.
Really positive signs, though, for Manchester United. 4 points from the first 2 games. Beaten Chelsea, of course, drawn with Wolves. That's 3 points gained on last season.
I think if you look at the fixture list when it first came out, those 2 games, if you take 4 points from it, I think you'd be happy with that. So really good progress, and not only that, the way we're playing is really positive.
Well, that's enough for me and Danny, and we'll be back with some more box to box after the game against Crystal Palace.